Díomh agus fáilte roimh go léir. My name is Abby and you are very welcome to my Celtic Corner, where each episode I'll bring you to a faraway land called Ireland. We'll hear about incredible Irish myths and legends, beautiful musical instruments, traditional Irish songs, and maybe even learn some of the Irish language too. Today, we're going to learn about the Salmon of Knowledge, a wonderful instrument called the harp, and a song about seaweed called Dúlamán. Settle in and have your ears at the ready as I bring you all the way over to the Emerald Isle. Long ago, a wise poet named Finnegas lived beside the River Boyne. He spent his time reading and writing poetry. A very famous salmon lived in the River Boyne. It had golden scales and was known as the Salmon of Knowledge. Legend had it that whoever was first to catch it and taste the flesh of the fish would be given the gift of wisdom. Finnegas tried many times to catch the fish, but was never successful. One day, as Finnegas was fishing, a boy approached him. His name was Fionn. His father was Cúil, the leader of the Fianna, a warrior hunter group in the Iron Age and early Middle Ages of Ireland. Fionn wanted to be the leader of the Fianna one day and came to learn skills from Finnegas. Finnegas allowed Fionn to stay with him to learn poetry and stories, along with the skills he needed to one day become the leader of the Fianna. In return, Fionn cleaned and cooked for Finnegas. One day while fishing, Finnegas caught a glimpse of the famous salmon. He grabbed a strong net to try and catch it. However, he had to be careful as he knew that anyone who looked directly into the eyes of the fish would fall into a deep sleep. Finnegas covered his eyes with cloth and tried again. Finnegas tried to catch the fish for hours, but was not able to lure it into his net. As night was falling, Finnegas felt something in his net. He had caught the magical fish. He was so happy. The next day, Fionn prepared a fire to cook the fish. They placed it on a spit over the fire and Finnegas went to collect some berries to have with his meal. He asked Fionn to look after the fire and the fish. As the fish cooked, Fionn noticed a big blister forming on the skin. Fionn pressed the blister to burst it, but he burned his thumb. He immediately put his thumb into his mouth to cool it down, but what a mistake he had just made. Without realising, Fionn had tasted the Salmon of Knowledge and was the first person to do so. When Finnegas returned, he saw what had happened. He was very disappointed, but decided to tell Fionn what he had done. Fionn was now the wisest man in Ireland, so he said goodbye to Finnegas and headed on his journey to become leader of the Fianna. I wonder what it would be like if there was a Salmon of Knowledge out there today. Would you want to eat it and gain all of the knowledge in the world? I sure would. These Irish myths and legends, like that of the Salmon of Knowledge, have been told for hundreds of years. The stories are incredibly old and were passed down through each generation. Like the old stories, the Irish harp is said to be one of the oldest instruments in the world. This beautiful string instrument is also the national emblem of Ireland and one of the popular Celtic symbols. The Emerald Isle is the only country in the world with a musical instrument as its national symbol, which is very accurate as music is really important to the people of Ireland. The traditional Irish harp was smaller than the harp we know today. It was held against the shoulder of the player and balanced on their knee, so it was quite portable. Today's harp is very large and heavy, so not as easily transported as it once was. The harp makes the most beautiful sound that sometimes reminds me of running water and raindrops, or what I imagine it sounds like for a fairy to cast a spell. Take a listen to this and have a think about what it sounds like to you. Wasn't that just beautiful? It has such a gentle sound but can be quite powerful as well. a beautiful contrast within the one instrument. While Finnegas and Fionn were working hard to catch the salmon of knowledge, it reminded me of the other Irish folk who worked hard before a time of machinery and technology. To make the working day go by faster and more enjoyable, the Irish workers would have created traditional working songs. One such song is Dúlamán, which simply means seaweed. Who would have thought you could write a song about seaweed? Well, it's been done, and it's quite a fun song to sing. It would have been used when workers were harvesting seaweed from the sea to be used for food or for dyeing clothes. The rhythm of the song is similar to the rhythm at which one would harvest the seaweed, so it helped the workers keep a good pace. It's in the Irish language, which I'm going to speak the chorus for you now. Dúlamán na binne bui, Dúlamán a chléva. Dúlamán na farraga, Dúlamán a déja. This is what it means in English. Seaweed of the yellow cliff, seaweed of the hill, seaweed of the ocean, and seaweed of the tooth. Okay, so now that you've heard the words and the meaning behind them, I'll sing the melody. I'll invite you to sing along with me later, so please take a listen to this. Dúlamán na binne bui, Dúlamán a chléva, Dúlamán a farragus, Dúlamán a déja. Okay, brilliant. I'll sing the chorus one more time. This time you might join in with me. Okay, off we go. Dúlamán na binne bui, Dúlamán a chléva, Dúlamán a farragus, Dúlamán a déja. Excellent work. I'm going to add in the verses and I want you to join me on the choruses. Really listen to the rhythm of the song and imagine yourself on a beach collecting seaweed to the rhythm. Okay, away we go. Dúlamán na binne bui, Dúlamán a chléva, Dúlamán a farragus, Dúlamán a déja. Níon fian ocean and all na fear hurry of in vino curna rohan longa dime. Dúlamán na binne bui, Dúlamán a chléva, Dúlamán a farragus, Dúlamán a déja. Ta cean bui nor an Dúlamán gweilach, ta ga cluish fail an Dúlamán gweilach. Dúlamán na binne bui, Dúlamán a chléva, Dúlamán a farragus, Dúlamán a déja. Wow, that was wonderful. I wonder how much seaweed we would have collected in the time it took us to sing that song. Lots and lots, I hope. Thank you for singing along with me. We learned all about the Salmon of Knowledge, the beautiful Irish harp, and about the traditional Irish work song, Dúlamán. Fantastic work. I'm so glad you could listen and sing along with me. Thank you so much for being a part of my Celtic Corner. Go raibh míle maith agaibh agus salán go fóill. Abby's Celtic Corner is a production of the International Children's Arts Network. You can learn more at icanradio.org. Special thanks to producer Sarah Zwinklis. Production assistance provided by Stephen Joinson and Kevin Wims. This episode featured the harp played by Katie Woolahan. The executive producer is Suzanne Nance, and I'm your host, Abby Malloy.